Before I begin, I would like to thank Reverend Benson for inviting me here to speak today. I know that she's got both her minister and her therapist hats on in Santa Rosa today, ministering to those who are returning after the fires, some of whom don't have very much to return to. So then, let us begin. At the beginning of the service, hopefully when you came in, you should have received two quarter sheets of paper and a writing utensil. Oh no. Having two pieces of paper is important for this exercise, so if you could find a receipt in your bag or use your worship guide.
There is a basket of the nuts out on the table.
Okay, I'll grab it. Who needs another piece of paper?
I am just going to stand up here and kill time while everyone gets two pieces of paper. Oh, okay, all right then. So on the first piece of paper, when you're all ready, I want you to write down 5 things that are important to you in life. They should be things that are sort of more important than other things. It doesn't have to be the 5 most important things, but it should be 5 things that are very important to you. So I'm doing this exercise along with the rest of you, just so you know that I'm not getting off scot-free here. All right, so... And you're not going to show this piece of paper to anyone, so feel free to be honest if, monster truck rallies are one of the very important things to you.
Are you implying something about monster truck rallies?
No, monster truck rallies could be very important. I don't know anything about monster truck rallies. I've never been to one. I do hear that they're very fun. All right, does everyone have their 5 things written down yet? And then whenever you're done, you can just go ahead and write my values at the top of that paper of 5 things, or at the bottom. I forgot to leave space for myself at the top, so I'm going to go ahead and write it at the bottom. My values. Okay, and then when you're done with that, this is what the second piece of paper is for. Now you're just going to write down a brief schedule of how you spent your day yesterday. You don't need to be very detailed about it. There's no need to, write down how long your shower took or exactly how much time you spent playing with your cat. Doing it too. Does anyone else have trouble remembering what they did yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. I definitely fudged some of the times in mine because I just couldn't remember, which is fine. All right, so is everyone just about ready? I see quite a few people staring at me like they're waiting for me to go on. So I think I'll take that as my cue to go on. So now on this second piece of paper where you wrote down what you did yesterday, if you can also find a corner to write in, you can go ahead and write my values. Okay, and then this piece of paper that had the 5 things that you wrote down on it, you can actually just go ahead and tear it up. So, I got this exercise from, believe it or not, credit where credit is due. I got it from a humor website on the internet called cracked.com. The author, David Wong, calls it a 60-second guide to learning the awful truth about yourself. I'm going to give it the kinder, gentler name of a 60-second guide to discovering your values. Because here's the bottom line. You are your actions. I do not know what your values are, because all that I know about you is based on what you say, what you do, how you act. And that's all you know about me, too. I don't wear my values on a t-shirt. And even if I did, that doesn't mean I'm living up to them. I might say, that I'm watching what I eat, but you would not know it from the number of McDonald's cheeseburgers I ate last week. Sure, it looks a lot like I just really like McDonald's. I might say that family is one of my values, but honestly, I'm not sure I can remember the last time I called my mother. So maybe my values aren't exactly what I think they are. I might think I know them, but if I don't really act them, if I don't really perform them, then do I actually value them? So at this point, you might be feeling kind of defensive. You might be coming up with all kinds of reasons and justifications in your head for why yesterday was the way it was. You spent all day yesterday eating Ben & Jerry's out of the carton with a spoon and watching Netflix because, hey, you had a really hard week and you needed a day off. I understand. What I realized when I wrote down what I did yesterday is that I spent an awful lot of time watching Father Brown on Netflix. Like just so much time watching a TV show about a crime-solving priest. Or you might have a disability and that might prevent you from attending protests or doing more volunteer work or even just doing your dishes. Or maybe you spent yesterday at work because unlike some people, you don't have the luxury of a Monday to Friday work week. Thank you very much. These are all the kinds of reasons that yesterday or last week or last month was maybe not ideal for many of us in terms of living the lives that we would like to be living. Money and time and other people and systemic violence can get in the way of us being our best selves. And that's okay. I didn't have us do this exercise so that we could feel bad about ourselves and all the things that we're not doing, which I think as a whole, Unitarian Universalists are really good at. I mean, raise your hand if you've ever felt bad about all the things that you're not doing. Yeah, there we go. That's what I expected to see. I'm not saying that we all need to sell our earthly possessions and donate the proceeds to Doctors Without Borders in order to really live out our faith in action. I'm not saying that, if you shop at Walmart because you can't beat those prices, that you're letting down the movement. This exercise is just a way of stepping back and taking a look at ourselves and what we say we're doing versus what we're actually doing. And if something's off, then maybe it's time to just adjust one or the other. That could mean adjusting your actions, sure, spending more time volunteering and less time taking pictures of your dog. I'm totally guilty. But you can also adjust that first list, the list of things that you think are important to you. For instance, did you all write health on that first list? If you didn't, I see some people raising their hands. Does that mean that you did write health? Oh, that's good. What about the rest of you? Why didn't you write down health? Your health is very important to me, even if it's not important to you. It is hard to do good work in the world if you don't have good health first. And Did any of you write having fun on your list? Oh, a few of you wrote having fun on your list. That's so good. And the rest of you, why didn't you write having fun? It is important to have fun. Life is so short. You can't spend the whole time working. Sometimes we need to just enjoy each other and the world. Life is a gift. And sometimes gifts are fun. I like practical gifts. I like socks. I also like it when the socks are fun. And finally, I want to remind everyone that if you're having trouble deciding what your values are, because 5 things is not a lot of things, and there are probably more than 5 things in your life that are important to you, that the nice thing about being a Unitarian Universalist is that we have the 7 principles to guide us. Yes, we do decide our own values. Unitarian Universalism is, the free religion. I think those values should be in alignment with the 7 principles, because that's what makes us Unitarian Universalists. So, this is another participatory section of this sermon. What are our 7 principles? All right, can anyone name the first one?
Inherent worth and dignity.
Yes, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. That cord doesn't come out, does it? Otherwise, I'd go down there with the microphone. No? All right, you're just going to have to yell. Okay, so what's the second one?
Justice, equity, and compassion in all relations.
Oh, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. The third one? That's the fourth one. Okay, third one is acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations. And the fourth one is a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Now the fifth one, they should make these easier to remember. Yes, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. That was a really long one. Someone's cheating. Oh my gosh, is it in our hymnal? All right, so 6.
It has something to do with the environment.
That's 7.
Yeah, that's 7. 6 is the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. And 7 is the respect.
Web of existence of which we all are a part.
Yes, respect for the interdependent web of life of which we are a part. I know, they should make these shorter and easier to remember. I hear that the kids get a song. Yeah, we should all learn the song. Yeah, I could use that song, honestly. Yeah. So, is it set to do, re, mi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. See, I didn't grow up a UU, so I don't get to know these things, and I feel really left out. So, those are our values as a faith community, and just a suggestion, maybe they should be your values as an individual. One of those 5 things that you could have written down on your first piece of paper. Like I said, just a suggestion. I'm not telling you what to do, because another thing I know about Unitarian Universalists is that we don't like being told what to do or what to believe. But from my perspective, if the 7 principles don't inform our values, then I don't really know what we're doing here under one roof. How do we call ourselves a faith community? Something to think about, something to chew on today as you go out into the world, and something to chew on tomorrow and the day after that. What are your values? Are you living them? Are you the person that you think you are? Are you living like a Unitarian Universalist? Thank you. Amen. And blessed be.